On this episode of Telling Stories, I look at why Superstore and The Office are basically the same show, in 159 or less. Alright, so I recently started watching a show called Superstore on NBC, and as I did, it reminded me of another classic NBC sitcom that was one of the most successful shows in NBC history, The Office. So, with a minute 59 on the clock, the first thing I noticed about these shows is how similar their characters are. Several main characters from Superstore are almost carbon copies of their Office equivalents.
Get your blinks out of the way now. I need your full attention.
First off, we have store manager Glenn Sturgis, the living, breathing Michael Scott, the manager of The Office.
Why are you the way that you are?
Both of these managers are awkward in their leadership and blindly devoted to corporate.
Let's do it. Let's get ugly. Let's get real.
Another striking resemblance of characters is how Dianna Fox, Superstore's assistant manager, is almost the exact same character as The Office's assistant regional manager, Dwight Schrute.
Oh man, am I a woman?
Both of these characters are very socially awkward, and both are aggressive and power hungry.
Assistant regional manager.
Assistant to the regional manager.
All right, our next character doppelganger is Superstore's Amy Dumanowski, being The Office's Pam Beasley. Both Amy and Pam are in committed relationships at the start of each series to men that disappoint them, so they start flirting at work. Which brings us to Jonah Simms being the Jim Halpert of Superstore.
What was that?
Both of these lovable characters slack off and try to get away with as much as they can at work, while still being somewhat talented and obviously crushing hard in the workplace.
I'm in love with you.
What?
Okay, moving on from characters, let's look at how both of these shows are set in environments that are basically different versions of the same thing.
That seems untrue.
These workplace comedies both let the relationships take center stage, not the scenery, seeking to impress a level of realism or relatability on the viewer. It's like this could actually be their life. And very little of each show is set outside the workplace. It's all about that boring yet intensely interesting workplace dynamic. Alright, as we continue to look at similarities between these shows, we've got to pay attention to the plot. Both of these shows really revolve around workplace hijinks and mishaps, told through funny and clever characters and interactions. Each episode has its own contained plotline with little overarching plot across whole seasons. Both shows are hilarious and wildly entertaining, and I think they're different enough that both remain must-watch.
If there is any takeaway from today, it's this.
It's pretty clear that because of The Office's success, NBC copied the show's blueprint when it created Superstore. I really don't see it becoming the cultural icon that The Office was, but it's still good in its own right. Alright, and with that, why don't you go ahead and smash that subscribe button?
Yeah, we're not gonna watch another video.
I'm Andrew Crabtree, and this has been Telling Stories.